Good morning, everyone. Again, I apologize for the delay. Looked like we were having a video issue, so hopefully you can see me now. I am here broadcasting from the Splash Media U website as well as Google+. Hopefully you were able to refresh your page. I updated the link on Splash Media U, again with a little bit of a technical glitch here, but hopefully after you refreshed, you're able to bring up the page. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Q&A. That was the problem I had initially, so hopefully we won't lose the image when I do this. So I'm going to turn on the Q&A. There we go. Okay, so hopefully we have the Q&A window open. So here's what you need to do. If you are viewing from the Splash Media U orientation page, splashmediau.com/orientation, in that YouTube window, there should be a link that says be part of this conversation. So if you have a question, just click that link. It'll open up the webinar in a new tab or a new window, and you can chat in your question right there. On the right side panel should be a little Q&A section. If you're already viewing from Google+, then you should already see the Q&A section. Again, my name is Duncan Gilman. I'm the Dean of Students here, and we're a little late getting started, so I want to go ahead and dive in. What this is a tour of the social media certification program that we offer at Splash Media U. You may be watching as a master social media certification student or just as an enrollee of the certificate program, an individual certificate for Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. So what I'll do is I'll log in as a master social media certification student, but I'll point out the small differences you may see if you're enrolled only in one certificate. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So if you'll forgive my screen flickering for just a minute, I'm going to screen share here. Let me do this and switch over to the school view. Here we go. So here's the view of the school. I'm going to turn my volume down just in case we get any feedback here. This is the view that a student will see when they log into the program. So you see we've got the courses laid out down the page: Foundations, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, blogging, YouTube, and strategy. What we did is take our platforms, the social media channels themselves, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and we've bookended them with a foundations course and a strategy course. So you have some of that marketing background. You have the foundations of social media marketing, as well as at the end, the strategy to put all this information together that we've assembled in each of these individual platform courses. Across the top, we've tried to make the navigation as user-friendly as possible. So we've got courses here, which is the same information you found down the page. Messages, which is an internal messaging system. I'll go ahead and click on that so you can see it. This is where I can communicate with you with updates, any technical issues we're seeing across the platform, so you can have all of that information here at a glance. You can see my latest message to students was that we just added 20 fresh new classes to update some of our curriculum, our material here. So you can see all of those messages here. As a student view here, you see that I've got a little notification on how many messages there are waiting for me. I've got 4 unread, but I can easily mark these as read by clicking this conversation here to view that entire message. The resource library is one of the most helpful things, one of the most valuable parts of our social media training here that I think you'll probably be coming back to time and time again. This is where you'll find all of the templates and worksheets and workbooks and presentations that we refer to in the classes and assignments. So for example, here's a great one to illustrate here. I'm going to just highlight this so you can see what I'm talking about. We have the content plan template. When we start talking about developing a content strategy, we offer this worksheet in that class, and in an assignment to create a content plan, you'll see a link to this content plan template. These are all templates and worksheets and files that we used when Splash Media U started off as an agency program. We work directly with clients using all of these resources: the template, the reporting, the onboarding checklist. All these things that we used with actual clients are here for your use with your clients or for your business. So when you get to that class about developing a content plan, you'll see a link to this resource, you'll also have the link right here in the resource library along with all of the other resources. So you can come back here to this one location to see those resources at a glance. The support area is a great way to see frequently asked questions, technical issues like how to take a screenshot of your screen, how to upload an assignment, any other issues you may be having. Check here first, because there's a good chance that we have an FAQ that answers that directly. Of course, you can also open a new support ticket, email us. These basically do the same thing. You can give us a call. We're happy to answer your question over the phone during regular business hours. In your personal profile section over here, I highly recommend that you make sure your settings are updated, all of your email and account info is current. Go ahead and put in a photo too. Let us know that we can connect a face to the name. We would love to be able to do that. So go ahead and upload your photo as well, so we know exactly who we're talking with when you reach out and when you submit homework assignments. And speaking of that, I want to go ahead and dive into an individual course. Go back to the home page here. Let's take a look at Twitter just to give you a sample of what you'll see in the program. Here at the top, you'll get an overview of what this course entails. And again, we're talking about a course that covers the entirety of the Twitter platform. We have a whole course dedicated just to Twitter and a whole course dedicated to Facebook, etc., as you saw in our course drop-down menu and down the page on the home page. At the beginning, we like to take you through the basics of each platform. So in the case of Twitter, that includes things like getting started on Twitter, customizing your Twitter page, what is a timeline, each individual section on Twitter, what is a tweet, how to retweet, how to follow, the things that you need to know before you really get too deep into the Twitter platform. You may already be familiar with these. These are things that you may already know. So if you do, these will just be a review if you're already active on Twitter. After that, we get into what we call the tactical wheel after the basics. And these are the tactics that can be applied to any social media platform. These are composed of listening, building a community of followers, broadcasting to those followers and how to broadcast, developing your own original content, and then finally converting those followers into customers. I've got another view of that here on our blog. This is the Splash Media U blog, and just a little better representation of what we call the tactical wheel. And the reason we shape it like this is because it's a never-ending process. Even after you've converted those followers into customers, you still want to listen to them and their needs and make sure that you're using all the same principles that you did at the beginning to find new customers and attract new consumers. So this is just a better representation here of what that looks like: listening, build a community, broadcasting content, and conversion. And we go a little bit deeper into that in a special seminar that we have dedicated just to the tactical wheel, which I'll mention in a moment here. But another reason that we organized each of our courses just like this is so that you can take these tactics and apply them to other platforms. We have a new course that we released not too long ago on Pinterest. We have a new one coming up later this spring on Instagram, but we don't yet cover platforms like Snapchat or Google Plus or Foursquare, but it's very possible that those platforms are important to your business. So we want you to be able to take the basic 5 items here in the tactical wheel and apply them to any social media platform so you can be successful on those platforms as well. Let's actually go ahead and look at a specific class, and forgive my my scrolling here. I want to find the class that I want to demonstrate here. As you may have already guessed, each of these links is an individual class, and you can see that some of them are blue, some of them are gray. The blue ones are ones that you have not yet seen, and the gray ones show you which classes you've already viewed. I'm going to go ahead and click on one class here that I like to use as an example: how to use Twitter lists. And in a second here, the class will load right in this video window. Right at the beginning, before I even click play, I get a little overview of the objectives for this individual class. So in this individual class, I'm going to learn what a Twitter list is, how to create one, and then some common uses for them right in this screenshot before I even click play. But I'll go ahead and click play now. I think my volume is already down. So this class will load and start playing here. And once again, I get this bulleted list of what I'm going to learn. I believe I'm actually teaching. Yeah, there I am. So I'm teaching this particular class. We don't obviously need to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to click pause here for a second. You'll notice that I'm in front of a laptop here. What I'm demonstrating on the laptop will appear in this window behind me, as well as full screen, taking up this full window here, because occasionally we want to make sure that you see everything that I'm demonstrating here on creating Twitter lists, and so we'll give you the full screen view. You can also make this bigger yourself. We've got a little full screen button for you, which will have this video window take up your entire desktop or laptop or mobile view. So you can take this video window full screen yourself and see much clearer what I'm demonstrating on the laptop there. One thing to note, you don't have to go back to the main Twitter course window here. You can get there by clicking Twitter, but if you're in the basics section, you don't have to go back out to the Twitter course in order to get to the next item. I can see the next item in basics over here in the left side navigation. The next item happens to be an assignment, and I like to demonstrate these two items together so you can see how they work hand in hand. We put these assignments specifically in these places so that you're best prepared to do the assignment after you've watched the previous classes. So for example, this class that we're on now is how to use Twitter lists, and the assignment that follows it is create a Twitter list. So clear to see why that assignment comes next. Some assignments have a text entry portion, and some assignments have an upload portion. Another reason I like to demonstrate this assignment is because it has both. This assignment has a text entry portion where I'm asked as a student to explain how I found the members of my list, and then an upload portion where I upload a screenshot of that list. And again, a screenshot is demonstrated in our FAQs if you don't know how to do that. It's very easy to do once you learn how. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my submission here. And again, this has two parts for this particular homework assignment. Some assignments just have one part, but in this part one, I'm just going to type in here how I found the list members. Obviously, I'm just demonstrating that I can type there. You type in your answer there. And in part two, this is the area where I can just drag and drop the screenshot that I've taken of my view of Twitter, of my list. What I recommend that you do is create a folder, and I can even demonstrate that somewhere on your computer with your assignments. And of course, I'm demonstrating on a Mac, but same thing on a Windows computer or device. What I recommend you do is just create a Splash Media U assignments folder, and then save all of your screenshots and your Word documents and your spreadsheets that you use in these assignments. Save them right here in this folder. That way you can just open up this folder and drag and drop those assignments right here into your assignment window, assignment view here. If you don't, for some reason, have the drag and drop capability, you can always click Add and browse for that assignment on your computer. But another great reason to have that Splash Media U assignments folder, so it's easy to browse for your assignment when it's time to add it. When you're done, click Save Changes, and you have another opportunity here to click Submit Assignment. This is very helpful because you can start an assignment, save it, and then come back to it before you submit it for a grade. I'll mention a couple more things about our assignments. Our turnaround time for grading is 1 to 2 business days, depending on how much activity we're seeing in the school, but currently it's about 1 to 2 business days and you'll get feedback on an assignment. We generally grade 1 of 3 grades because our assignments for the most part are fairly objective. You either grasp the concept or you haven't. So if you have mastered the concept and it looks like you clearly understand what we asked of you, then that's a 100, which is great. You perfectly understood the assignment. If there's one piece that's slightly out of place but you have the general idea, then we'll give that a passing grade. A passing grade is just an 80. Anything below an 80 is a fail that will require a resubmission of that assignment. So for that reason, we just grade a 50. So there's really no point in grading a particular grade below an 80, like a 63 or 42. We just label that a 50 so that cues the system, our learning management system here, to ask you to resubmit or to force you to resubmit the assignment. So you'll get a 100 if you've done perfectly. You'll get an 80 if you can improve on something, but you're ready to move on. And you'll get a 50 if you need to redo that assignment. And then once you redo the assignment, you'll get a maximum grade of passing. So if you have to do an assignment a second or third time, you will be able to move on, but your grade will be an 80 for that assignment once you get it correct. That covers grading on an assignment. Grading on exams, and I'll show you the exam here on the Twitter exam. Grading on the exams is the same scale where 80 or above is passing, but you'll get immediate feedback with the exams because they're all multiple choice and true-false questions. So you'll have immediate feedback from your system what your grade was and whether or not you need to redo it if your grade is below an 80. You see the link to each of our exams at the bottom of each course. So here's the link to the Twitter exam. These are 25 questions, again, multiple choice and true-false. And it is important that you see that you view the classes and do the homework assignments before you take the exam, because that's where we pull all of our material. Pardon me one second. Let me go over a couple more items before we finish up. I want to be respectful of your time today. I know we started a few minutes late. Two more things you'll notice if you're enrolled in Master Social Media Certification. The things that we've seen so far are generally available to our certificate students as well. For certificates, you'll see your individual platform, which may be Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Pinterest, whatever course you're enrolled in. Plus, you'll also get access to the Foundations course as well, so to give you a little background. If you're enrolled in Master Social Media Certification, you'll also have access, and will be required to take our seminars. Pardon me, I've got a little something in my throat here. Thanks for bearing with me. Our seminars are 60 minutes of material here, so they're more in depth. They're a little bit longer than our individual classes, which are on average only 3 or 4 minutes long. And you can see the topics here. We go into detail on campaign management, return on your investment in your social media time and money. We go more into depth on the tactical wheel, which is a great way to not only brush up, but really get some more information on how we develop those 5 tactics and how you can better use them for your social media strategy. And then search engine optimization, which is covered a little bit in our blogging and YouTube courses, but much more in depth here in our seminar, 60-minute seminar. Like the courses, each individual seminar is accompanied by its own exam, but in this case, the exams are just these short quizzes made up of 10 questions each, just to show that you grasp the material that was covered in each seminar. And again, this is a required part of the Master Social Media Certification. The final thing that you probably saw in our course list is the final exam. And you'll know that you're ready to take the final exam because you'll see your progress bar fully complete. And that's how we know. We ask that when you've completed each course, you send us an email to our support email address, and all of that is explained in that final exam link here. But you'll know that you're ready because you'll see this blue bar completely filled in. And I can go directly into the Foundations completion list here and know, I'm on the Foundations as an example here, but I'll know exactly where I stand in terms of assignments and the exam here, because I can see I've completed this assignment, completed, not completed, so I still have to go back and do this one. I tried this one, but I failed, so I have to resubmit that one. I've completed this one, and these are still incomplete. So this will show me at a glance here what I need to do to finish this course and the rest of the courses before I take my final exam. All right, that is our whirlwind tour. I know I go fast. This tour is, as well as all of our previously recorded tours, are available on our YouTube channel, so you can go back at any time and view these. This is also a course in our Foundations, a class in our Foundations course. So you can see one of the first classes is Splash Media Orientation. So again, you'll see an archive of this exact class. But the reason we do them live is because it's a great opportunity for you to have your questions answered live. So at this time, I'm going to minimize this and go back to our main window here. Hopefully the window here is viewable in, the Q&A window is viewable in the screen. And you can ask your questions. So again, I hope you were able to refresh that page. We had that technical issue at the beginning, and that the Q&A is visible on the right side of the Google Plus Hangout window here. So I'm happy to hang on line for a minute here as you submit your questions.